Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to be doing a character analysis. So for character analysis, what we do is we look at the characters in our story and we talk about their character traits and what attributes make them unique, and we look at all the things that make this character who they are, for however many characters we have in the story. And then we also look to see, do we have static characters? Static means that they stay the same throughout the story. So if they're happy, they stay happy the whole story. If they're dynamic characters, dynamic means that they change. So if they're happy, they become sad. They change in a way. So we're gonna look at our character and their traits, and we're also going to look to see if our character changes in the story, and if they do change, we're going to look at why did they change. So today's story that we're going to analyze the characters in is we're going to be reading Brave Enough for Two by Jonathan D. Voss. And this is a Hoot and Olive story. So I think Hoot and Olive are going to be two big characters. So we're going to put them on our chart to begin. So we have Hoot and we have Olive. And then remember I talked about static or dynamic, so I'm going to make another row. And I'm just going to call this one, Did They Change? And we're also going to talk about why, if they did. And if we have any more characters, we can add them. So let's start reading Brave Enough for Two by Jonathan D. Voss. Hoot was Olive's very best friend in the whole wide world. But as you know, best friends don't always like the same things. Take, for example, adventures. Olive preferred the kind found in books. Hoot, on the other hand, well, he preferred something a little different. So already I'm figuring out things about my characters. So both of them, I'm going to put it in the middle because it's for both of them. So they are best friends. So that's for both Hoot and Olive. I've also learned something about Olive in this story. Olive likes adventures that she finds in books. So I think Olive likes to read about adventures. So we're going to put that on Olive. Likes to read about adventure. And it says Hoot likes something different. So we're going to read to find out what Hoot likes. One day, Hoot said, I've made something special for you, but it could be a small bit scary and a slightly bigger bit adventurous. You know I don't like adventures, said Olive. I'm not brave like you. Don't worry, said Hoot. I will be brave. Enough for both of us. So now I know that while Olive likes to read about adventures, Hoot likes to go on adventures. So let's put that under Hoot. Hoot likes to go on adventures. Another thing we know about Hoot is brave. And I know that because he's going to be brave for both Hoot and Olive. So Hoot is brave. It's very nice, said Olive. Does it go high? A little, said Hoot, climbing into the basket, but not too high. Olive followed after. So I think because Olive is asking how high they're gonna go, and in the picture she looks a little scared to get off the ground, I think that Olive might be scared of heights. So let's put that on Olive. She's scared of heights. Which I'm thinking that could be why she doesn't like adventures too much. Up they rose, over rooftops and treetops, till the ground looked like a giant patchwork quilt passing beneath them. What do you think? Asked Hoot. I think this is what it's like to be a cloud, said Olive, but we've gone way more than a little high. Just then, a drop of water landed on her nose. The clouds darkened and thunder cracked with the flash of light. Giant drops poured from the sky. The wind swelled. The basket rocked. What if the wind blows us far away and we get lost? Cried Olive. Hoot squeezed her hand. We can never be lost, he said, so long as I'm here and you're there, and here and there aren't very far apart. So now I think Olive is also scared of the thunder and of getting lost. So we're going to add that to this list. Scared of the thunder and getting lost. You can see in the picture that she has a very scared face. So let's keep reading. All of a sudden, the sun poked through the clouds. The wind calmed. Look, said Hoot, a rainbow. Olive smiled. Hoot untied the balloons one by one. Lower and lower, the basket dropped, till it scraped the ground and toppled over. The pair rolled out head over bottom into a patch of grass. We made it, said Olive in a surprised sort of way. What should we do now? Of course we made it, said Hoot. And now I have another idea. Olive was a little surprised that they made it, but Hoot, the way he said, of course we made it, makes me think that Hoot is confident, even while Olive is scared. So we're going to add confident to Hoot's character traits. Hoot pushed the basket into a nearby river. I've never been in a boat before, said Olive. Then it'll be the first time for both of us, said Hoot. Will we go fast? Asked Olive. Maybe just a little, said Hoot, tying a flag to the new ship's mast. The boat bobbed and spun like a carnival ride. What do you think? Asked Hoot. I think we're going faster than just a little, said Olive. So now I think that Olive doesn't like that they're going too fast down the river, and so maybe she's scared of speed and going too fast, because it can be a little bit dangerous. So let's add speed to the list of things she's scared of. Down the river they sped till it became a bubbling cauldron of rocks and waves. A cauldron, boys and girls, is like a pot where it's usually used in witches' stories. They put all these ingredients and they mix it. It's a huge pot, and they have a big stick because they have to mix a lot of stuff in it. So this river is just one big pot and everything's going crazy. We're going way too fast, cried Olive. Hoot paddled with all his might. Don't be afraid, I'll keep you safe. So Hoot, even though Olive is scared, he's telling her that he's going to keep her safe. So I think that Hoot, he likes to protect Olive and make sure that she's not scared. So let's put on his that Hoot likes to protect Olive. And he did. But on the shore, Hoot stood silent. "What's the matter?" asked Olive. Hoot picked up a piece of his stuffing. "I'm not feeling all that well." So I'm thinking Hoot might be a little scared because he's silent now. And usually he's very talkative. And he might be scared because he's losing his stuffing, which means he has a hole and he could keep losing stuffing. So because Hoot isn't very confident now, he's a little worried, so Hoot changed. So Hoot went from brave to being scared because he lost some stuffing. So now that Hoot changed from being brave to being scared, let's see what Olive is going to do. Olive paused, but only for a moment. Then she said, "Don't worry, Hoot. I'll lead the way home. I will be brave enough for both of us." So Olive was scared when they started their adventure, but now she's changed when she's brave. So Olive, scared. So this one was Hoot. So now this is Olive. Olive became brave. And she changed for her friend. So I think that Olive realized that Hoot was scared because he was losing his stuffing, and so she decided that she would be the brave one now. Hoot followed her every step. "It will be dark soon," he said. "If it gets dark, we might get lost." "Hoot," said Olive in a kind way, "so long as I'm here and you're there, and here and there aren't very far apart, we can never be lost." So if you remember, Hoot said that to Olive when she was scared to comfort her. And now Olive is the brave one, so she's comforting Hoot. So I think that Olive also protects and comforts Hoot. So I'm going to put that on her character. Just as the sun began to set, a familiar sight appeared. "Home," said Hoot and Olive together. That night, Hoot got a patch for bravery, said Olive. "And tomorrow, how about I choose the adventure?" Hoot smiled. "I was afraid today," he said, "when my stuffing came out. But you were brave, and you kept me safe." "Don't ever be afraid," Olive said. "I'll always keep you safe." And she did. So that's the end of our story. So just to review our character analysis, so Hoot and Olive were best friends. And like we said, Olive liked to read about adventures, and Hoot was different because he liked to go on adventures. So when they went on an adventure, Olive was scared of things like heights and the thunder and getting lost, but Hoot was very brave and protected her and told her not to worry. And then we had a change because Hoot lost some of his stuffing and now he was scared because he had a hole in him and he needs his stuffing. So he became scared, and when he became scared, Olive changed and became brave for the both of them to get them home and to comfort Hoot while he was scared. So both of our characters were dynamic and they changed.